friends. We're going to show you today how to make a bulletproof coffee or tea. We've had a lot of our friends asking how we do it, what's involved, what ingredients they need, why it's important. So I'm going to go over everything that you need and how to make it. So first off, you're going to need some grass-fed pasture butter. Make sure that it's pasture butter. It has to be from grass-fed cows. Kerrygold is the brand that we use. Also make sure that it's unsalted. The next thing you want is heavy whipping cream. And you want to also make sure that this is from grass-fed cows. Kalispell Creamery is the brand that we use. It's local to us. Just make sure, no hormones, no antibiotics. Though if you can get it local, that's better. So that's what you want. Next is the MCT oil. MCT oil is really important. It basically is in coconut oil, but this is a more pure form of it. So MCT oil is very thermogenic, helps your body burn fat and maintain lean mass. And Chris is going to talk a little bit more about why it's important later. Next, you're going to want coffee or tea. I'm going to turn on my water right now, so you're going to brew some tea or brew some water for your tea or coffee. Chris drinks coffee, I do the tea. The tea that I use is unsmoked yerba mate. It's organic, fair trade. You want to make sure it's organic. We also get this locally. It doesn't have to be this brown, but just make sure that it's organic. So that's what I use. So while my water is heating up, I'm going to put some tea in my teapot. So I'll do a scoop in my little baby teapot, and then when that water heats up, I'll let that brew. While we're waiting, I'm going to mix this up. So I'm going to do about a tablespoon of heavy cream. I kind of just eyeball it.
That's more like 4 tablespoons.
Maybe a tablespoon and a half. I'm going to do about a tablespoon of butter. How's that? Okay. Then I'm going to do about a teaspoon, and again I'm going to eyeball this, of the MCT oil. And you have to be careful with this. The MCT oil, if you're just starting to incorporate it into your diet, you want to be careful because it can cause some stomach issues. So just make sure you ease in a tablespoon a day and then kind of gradually add, I think up to 2 tablespoons a day is what's recommended. I also use, and this isn't necessary, but I add organic stevia to mine just to sweeten it up a little bit. So if you are using stevia, make sure it's the liquid form and that it's organic. You don't want, if you look on the back and you see a bunch of ingredients in there that you don't recognize, those are all fillers and different things that they're added in to cheapen the product. So just, you want to get whole leaf, organic, pure stevia. So I'll do 2 drops in there, mixed in with my tea once I pour it in. So I got my water brewed. I'm going to pour that in. And I'm not going to let it seep for too long because I want you guys to see the rest of the video without standing here waiting for me. So I've got all my ingredients in the blender. I'm going to stick this on the blender here. And it's really important that when you're doing this, so a lot of people have a weird thing about putting hot liquids in a glass blender, and it is true, you don't want to actually seal the lid on it when you put your tea in. You want to pour your tea over it. So obviously I would have let it brew a little bit longer, but pour your tea in, the butter will start to melt at that point. And then what I'll do is I'll just hold the lid over the top so that it doesn't splash out. Make sure it's on a low speed. Blend it all up, and you can see it gets kind of frothy, which is awesome. It's kind of like a latte. And then now you can enjoy it. So I'll pour it into my cup, and you can see it kind of looks like a drink you got at the coffee shop. So I'm going to actually turn the camera now on my awesome husband, and he's going to explain why this is important to do first thing in the morning, how it enhances fat burning, and a little bit more about the MCT oil.
Okay, so the reason why you want to do this in the morning is basically overnight, while you're sleeping, you're technically fasting, and it sets up a prime opportunity for you to put yourself in a good fat burning environment. The reason why that's the case is because I guess you could call it somewhat intermittent fasting. Let's say your last meal was at 9 p.m. and you wake up at 7. Let's say you don't. Let's say you go about 12 hours without eating. You've started an intermittent fast, so you're in better fat burning mode than if you have a breakfast. As soon as you introduce carbohydrates into your body, it's going to shut that down right away. And the reason why is because it's going to bring your insulin levels up, and insulin is not a good hormone to be elevated when you're trying to burn fat. When you wake up in the morning, your body is going to have higher cortisol levels, which is a bad thing, but it's normal. And actually, cortisol can help you burn fat. The problem is when you have high cortisol with insulin, that's that's not a good thing. All right, so basically, when you're in the morning and after fasting overnight, higher growth hormone levels, that's going to help you burn fat, maintain muscle. Cortisol levels will help you burn fat, and then other anabolic hormones tend to be higher in the morning as well. The medium chain triglyceride, the reason why it's important instead of carbohydrate is because it actually burns like a carbohydrate. And I don't mean that it's a carbohydrate that burns as a sugar. The medium chain triglycerides will allow your body to have higher ketone levels, and that actually is fuel for your brain and your muscles. Okay, the other thing it does is it spares glycogen. So if you're on a lower carbohydrate diet or you're working out in the morning in a fasted state or a lower carbohydrate state, it'll allow you to function at a higher level performance-wise. Okay. The other thing it does is it is thermogenic, as Lisa mentioned that as well. It also helps to shuttle amino acids into the muscle cell to help recuperation. So there's many benefits to the MCT oil. Now you can use coconut oil as well. We used to do that. We still do every now and then. This is more potent. That's the only reason why we do that.
This is the coconut oil we use if we do use it. I prefer the MCT in my tea just because I don't like the taste of the coconut oil in there. So it's kind of a preference. They're both great. But that's our lean living tip for you today. We may do more of these in the future if they're popular. We have a lot of awesome tips and different things that we've learned over the years that we'd love to share. So if you guys like this and you want to hear more from us, we'll continue making little videos for you. So enjoy your bulletproof tea or coffee, and feel free to post in our comments below what you think and how you like it. Have a great day.